What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to the latest Liverpool news video. And in this video we have a lot of talking points to talk about. For example, there is a brand new update or information on the Nicolas Pepe transfer saga, because the Goal newspaper is reporting that Liverpool actually phoned up Lille to tell them that they are not interested in Nicolas Pepe during the transfer negotiations, even though the Lille president himself said that Nicolas Pepe's agent talked to Liverpool, but apparently Liverpool didn't want the transfer negotiations to be too complicated for other clubs, and apparently they made a good deed, basically phoning up Lille and denying their interest, saying that Lille and the agent maybe just putting the news out there that Liverpool are interested in Nicolas Pepe to incite a bidding war and drive his price up. So what do you think about that? And we will also talk about Van Dijk and his interview where he admits that he might not consider becoming a manager or even a pundit because the football world is too cruel, and he might take down the avenue of becoming a football scout in the future. So that is also very interesting. And also we have Daniel Sturridge and a huge transfer update on him in this video. So if you enjoy these news videos and if you enjoy this content, leave a like. It just takes a second for you guys to press the like button and it really helps me out. So first let's talk about the Nicolas Pepe transfer saga and what Goal.com is reporting. And the Goal newspaper is reporting that sources have told them that Liverpool's interest in Pepe was actually minimal, and that persistent reports out of France was suggesting otherwise were to be ignored, because they actually directly communicated with Lille as early as June, when speculation was rife that Liverpool have had talks with Samir Kiat, Nicolas Pepe's agent, about a potential switch to Anfield. And Michael Edwards, Liverpool's sporting director, took the unusual decision to phone up Christophe Galtier, the manager of Lille, to clarify the matter. Which is interesting. They have a personal relationship because they know each other previously. They had crossed paths at Portsmouth in the mid 2000s when Edwards was a young analyst and Galtier was assistant manager to Alan Perrin. The pair have maintained a good working relationship since, and this is very interesting because actually the Lille owner or the Lille manager didn't really come out and say that Liverpool are not interested in Nicolas Pepe. They kept that story going, and that's why I made so many videos on Nicolas Pepe, because they kept the story running and the transfer saga running, just to drive up the price and just to make maybe Arsenal or other club act quicker and pay a lot more money. And the jury is still out on Nicolas Pepe. It's still debatable whether he was worth 70-75 million pounds. He looked very, very good on the pitch against the Liverpool, actually, with some threatening runs, but his decision making and his final shot, final pass in the final third was still looking very raw, and I think he still needs probably 1 or 2 seasons in the Premier League to fully get used to the Premier League, and then we will see the real Nicolas Pepe. I'm really sad that Liverpool missed out on him, but for 75 million it would have been an extreme luxury to spend that amount of money on a player who would mainly sit on the bench, because at the moment Mane and Salah, there is no way that Nicolas Pepe would get into the Liverpool team ahead of either of them. So I think that Liverpool ultimately made the right decision. And Edwards' message to Lille was as simple, according to the Go website. Liverpool had not spoken to Pepe or his agent and had no interest in doing so. He was not a target, and the feeling on Merseyside was that their name was being used to actually flush out interest from elsewhere and to drive up the price. Anfield sources say that it was long suspected that Pepe would eventually join Arsenal, even if the move seemed to take a lot of people by surprise in the end. And the cynics will wonder why Edwards would take such a step and why Liverpool would be happy to have it known that they were not actively pursuing one of the French league's brightest young stars. And Pepe, after all, had seriously impressed at Lille, scoring 37 goals in 75 appearances in 2 seasons. And I think this is very interesting news, because many people, French journalists and even the Lille president, came out and said that Liverpool have been talking with Nicolas Pepe's agent, and also they have been talking with Lille as well. Or maybe all of those people just wanted the price to go up. So I'm not sure what is the exact truth about this transfer saga. I just wanted to report it because I think this is a very interesting story. And on another note, Daniel Sturridge has now officially signed for Trabzonspor, which is a very left field transfer if you ask me, because I think Daniel Sturridge would be good enough to play for a team like Aston Villa or Norwich City, or even a team like Bournemouth. I think Sturridge would have been perfect for these kind of clubs, but in the end he went to Turkey. And I think one of the reasons why he went there was he got a big signing on fee, £1.8 million. So that is a big bag of money that Sturridge got up front. But his contract is just £27,000 per week. That is a lot lower than his £100,000 per week contract. And even though he got 1.8 million upfront as a signing on fee, I think that in the Premier League he could have had maybe a bigger contract. But overall, I think Sturridge went for a safe option. Maybe he feels that physically he can't really maintain the standards that he was used to in the Premier League, and he now signs a 3-year contract at Trabzonspor, and I wish him all the best. You know, guys, that Daniel Sturridge is one of my favorite players, or used to be one of my favorite players at Liverpool, and I think he leaves Liverpool on the perfect note, helping Liverpool win the Champions League. Well, you could argue that he didn't really score a lot of goals towards that, but he actually had some crucial moments. I mean, he scored against Paris Saint-Germain in the group stages in the Champions League, and overall he was a very good servant for Liverpool. And at one point he had the best goals to games ratio at Liverpool until his injury troubles started preventing him getting regular playing time and also getting regular goals on the pitch. It was a shame that injuries probably prevented Daniel Sturridge from fulfilling his full potential. But I wish him all the best in Turkey, and I will be watching eagerly the Turkish league and seeing how Daniel Sturridge actually does for Trabzonspor. And now let's talk about this very interesting Van Dijk interview, because he says that he's basically not really thinking about becoming a manager or even becoming a pundit. This is what he said: the football world can be very cruel. There are a lot of people that have opinions and that can affect you. If you have the choice, you would rather not be in those kind of situations. But I think I will be definitely involved in football. I won't be a pundit, because you have to be saying certain things that you might not even want to, but you have to because you are a pundit. We will see. I think I have a good eye for spotting talent, so maybe I will do something like that. So can you imagine Van Dijk retires and then he becomes maybe a chief scout for Liverpool or for Groningen or for Celtic or for one of his former clubs? I can certainly see that scenario, and Van Dijk could definitely become a top scout, because if Van Dijk can spot the next generation of brilliant centre-backs, then I think he would be the perfect man to do that. And this is a very interesting interview, and I certainly didn't expect it. I could see Van Dijk becoming a pundit, but if he is not interested in that, then I can understand why, because yeah, the football world can be very, very cruel indeed. And now let's talk about what Jurgen Klopp said about the Arsenal game and how Liverpool performed, and his reaction to the Arsenal win is quite interesting. So this is what Jurgen Klopp said after Liverpool have beaten Arsenal 3-1. I didn't think about the number of goals we could score, but to be honest, I didn't expect the system that Arsenal played. I'm not sure they played it in pre-season, I didn't see it. It meant that we had a lot of space on the wings, switching sides. The only problem was a little bit of the movements in the box to make it a bit more tricky for the defending side. They won a lot of these challenges in the air, but we won a lot of second balls for that, putting them constantly under pressure without having the outcome that we wanted. It is always dangerous if you miss one ball, like Henderson did in one situation. Then with the speed that Arsenal have, they are exactly in the situation they wanted. Adrian reacted brilliantly in that moment, and they had a shot from Pepe, which was a big one. You can probably score with a situation like that, but we had much more of the game. Against the quality of Arsenal, you cannot avoid these situations for 100%. You need your goalie, you need a block or whatever, but we didn't need too much. I was really happy with a lot of parts of the game. I think everything we did well in the first 4 games, we did tonight for longer, more precise and better tuned. I loved the desire, the passion, the power, the energy that we put into this game. It made us really uncomfortable to play against, which is what we wanted, and so we deserved the first goal. It was a very determined header as well. I don't know how many people held on Virgil van Dijk in that moment. It looked like they built something around him, but Joel Matip was there, big Joel, and made a fantastic goal. It was a deserved result for half-time. In the second half then, there was a clear penalty. We played nice passes, we were there with a lot of good moments, football moments today, but you need these decisive moments. The penalty was nicely taken by Salah, and then the third goal is just incredible again, really, really good. So pretty much the story of the game, we could have controlled it better. That's probably our real challenge. Arsenal didn't really press anymore. When we were 3-0 up, they were deep together and we passed the ball into their legs, and that makes no sense. We were still in a kind of an attacking mood, so we have to prepare these situations a little bit better. We know we have a lot to improve, but it was a big step tonight as well, so I'm really happy. One question and such a long answer by Jurgen Klopp, but I think he answered brilliantly. And he also said, we enjoyed a lot the opportunity to have a week of training. We will have another week of training, and then we go to a very difficult place, to Burnley. I couldn't have more respect for what they are doing there. I will have the opportunity to watch them tomorrow, and it will still be a different, because Burnley at home are another level, so it will be really tricky. We have a week to prepare for it, and we have a week to prepare for pretty much the rest of the season, because I've said it often enough. 3 games a week means you recover, try to squeeze a couple of minutes out of a session to do some tactical stuff to prepare for the opponent, do set pieces, and then go again. That's it. In this week it was completely different. We liked that, and now we have another week like this, and I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, Jurgen Klopp is right. Liverpool can enjoy this early season where, yes, apart from the Community Shield final and the Super Cup final, now Liverpool have 2 weeks when we have a whole week before our game. And after August is finished, and after the Burnley game, we will pretty much play 3 games or 2 games every week, week on week, because the League Cup starts, the Champions League starts, and these times where Liverpool have a whole week to prepare for 1 game, these times are over, and Liverpool have to embrace it, but we also have to be ready for that. And I think Liverpool have a big enough squad. We had Lala, now Oxlade-Chamberlain coming on, Naby Keita hopefully will be back in a couple of weeks time. So Liverpool need to be ready for the relentless season that is ahead of us. But so far so good. We are 100% in the Premier League. All the pressure is on Man City. They have to win their game today if they want to keep pace with Liverpool. So that is going to be interesting to see if they manage to do that. And Joel Matip was very bullish and confident after scoring against Arsenal. He said, "I hope it's the beginning of more goals. I'm happy that I could score. It was a good cross and I hope next week maybe another one will be there." And Matip was satisfied with the job well done, but he also admitted if you give a team like Arsenal space up front, it will be really difficult to keep them out. We tried to keep the ball and try. That was the main thing that we had to do today. After 3 games, it doesn't say too much, but we are happy that we won the first 3 matches, and now we are looking forward to Burnley. And I think the big test will be the Burnley-Liverpool game, because actually, in my opinion, playing Burnley away for Liverpool is a lot harder and a lot more tricky than playing Arsenal at home, because Arsenal at home in the last 3 years, it has been honestly a walk in the park for Liverpool. Liverpool scored 12 goals in 3 games against Arsenal in the last 3 years at Anfield. We have a 4 goal per game average, and we only conceded 2 goals in those 3 games, so we have a 12-2 goal difference against Arsenal at Anfield, which is absolutely bonkers, absolutely crazy. And I think that Liverpool have to have the right mentality to go all the way in the Premier League title race. We have to be almost perfect, and that is what Jurgen Klopp was talking about in his official matchday program column before the Arsenal game. This is what Jurgen Klopp said. "I think there is zero doubt that Arsenal will be even stronger this season compared to last. It's one of the reasons why I haven't liked the external focus in pre-season, because on just a couple of clubs contesting for honours this season, too narrow of a focus. Jurgen Klopp thinks that more clubs can challenge for the title, not just Liverpool and Manchester City." And Jurgen Klopp also said, "What I have seen from my team since we began at Wembley in the Community Shield through to the full-time whistle going on at Southampton last weekend is that they are not allowing the relentless nature of August to impact upon their application or the belief. The start of the season has been intensive, yes, but these group of players have embraced that. They don't view intensity as being something to fear. It's actually part of our makeup. It's our identity as a team." The other factor from the start of this season that has given me such joy has been once again the ability to absorb and react to setbacks. It's been there early on, and it will need to remain to be there, be it conceding first in matches such as against Man City or Chelsea, losing a key player during a game to an injury, Alisson, or just responding to general setbacks during a game. We have shown our best face in our reaction. We are a side which, if and when knocked down, has the ability to bounce back off the canvas and be ready to engage again. There will be times both today and during the season when we face big setbacks and have big hurdles to clear, but with this team I know we will also rise and not sink. This is what I love about them so much. What a brilliant interview by Jurgen Klopp. I absolutely love it, and he calls Liverpool his mentality giants, and I agree with him. Our mentality is top notch, and we have to keep it going throughout the season. That's the only way that we will have any chance of winning the Premier League title. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. See you later, guys. Goodbye.